You know, a lot of people who are seeking to change, they get very frustrated because they read dozens of books, they go to seminars, they go to workshops, and they're presented with very powerful information. How to live a solid life, what to do with diet, what to do with prayer, daily meditation. And then you come home, and within a few days, you find that all of what you were dying to absorb has not been absorbed. And this talk is really important. It's going to show you how to change a habit and how to absorb information that you want to retain. You've basically got three minds, according to yoga. One mind called buddhi. Buddhi is the superhuman mind. It's the center of high wisdom and high intuition. Let's put that mind aside for the moment. In this talk, we're going to talk about the intellect and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can process 4 million bits of information per second. Very, very powerful. The intellectual mind can process 4 bits of information per second. So when you weigh the relative power, even take the greatest genius in the world, straight A's in university, that intellectual mind can only process 4 bits of information per second. The subconscious is processing 4 million bits per second. So the relative power is incomparable. Meaning, if you want to get some superhuman things done in your life, you'd better learn how to talk to your subconscious. That's where the power is coming from. The other difference being, the intellectual mind is a creative mind. So if you want to draw a painting, if you want to create an engineering drawing, if you want to learn the tennis serve, the original learning of the tennis serve, the first time you try it, is done with the intellectual mind. Or watching a YouTube video of how a champion hits a tennis serve. You're processing that first glance with the intellectual mind. But then you go to the tennis serve, or you go to the tennis court, and you try to implement the serve you just saw on YouTube, and it doesn't turn out. Question is why? Intellectual mind being the creative mind, the subconscious mind is a habit mind. The subconscious will not listen to you unless you abide by 4 laws of the subconscious. So listen to the 4 ways that you can communicate with the subconscious. Number 1, repetition, 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 repetition. If you're wanting to learn the violin, you just keep repeating. 10,000 times, 20,000 times. That's the only thing the subconscious understands. Next, subconscious understands visualization. So visualization is something the subconscious mind understands. Next, in order for you to communicate anything to the subconscious mind, you must lower your brainwave activity from the busy 14 cycles per second, called the beta waves, down to theta waves, about 3.5 cycles per second. You cannot open the cave of the subconscious if your brainwave activity is busy. Impossible. This is why in hypnosis and meditation, we can make effective change, because for the first 30, 40 seconds, the expert of hypnosis and the meditation master are doing the same thing. Both of them start your meditative journey or your trance journey by sheer relaxation. Both the hypnotist and the meditation master are doing the same thing the first 30, 40 seconds. They're just lowering your brainwave activity, and both of them are opening up your subconscious mind. The difference between hypnosis and meditation, when both of them lower your brainwave activity, one of them, the hypnotist, plants ideas in your mind. The meditation master doesn't plant ideas, they simply relax you and allow you to tumble in relaxation. They don't give you a directive of what you're supposed to be. Now, coming back to the language of subconscious mind, I mentioned 3 laws, but there are 4 laws. The first law, use visualization. Is something that the subconscious understands. Number 2, relax the brain waves down to 3.5 cycles per second. 3, repetition, repetition, practice, practice. The last one, subconscious mind understands emotion. This afternoon, I had you do a visualization of an ideal life. Notice on the 3rd step of that exercise, I asked you to feel what it would feel like to live that ideal life. So it's not enough to visualize a good tennis game. You must feel what it's like to hit a solid serve or to win Wimbledon. You must feel that. So 4 laws, 4 languages the subconscious understands. If you don't speak this language, subconscious will not hear you. One thing really important for you to understand in this talk, your subconscious mind is not human. In other words, if you get frustrated, if you cry, if you break dishes because your spiritual journey is not going as well as what you saw in the motivational seminar, no good. Your crying, your ranting, your frustration, none of that will have the least effect on your subconscious mind. Subconscious has a coded language. Here it is. Reduce the brainwave activity to 3.5, called theta waves. Number 2, visualization, mental cartoons. Just like watching Wimbledon tennis match on TV and then going on the court, that's going to affect your game. 3, invoke emotions of what you would feel like once you reach the desired goal. In other words, you must invoke the emotion as if you have already achieved your goal. For your life to change, your subconscious mind must change. Your subconscious mind has a comfort zone like this circle here. That comfort zone holds all of your earliest emotions, all of your earliest memories and perceptions and beliefs. By the time you're 7 years old, you've got all of your beliefs and programming completely set up in terms of how lovable you are, whether you're attractive or not, whether you're good at sports or not, whether you're good at academics, whether you're going to be successful. The whole program has been written by the age of 7. And as you know, most of that program you've already inherited from the previous generation, meaning your adult guardians, and those adults raising you picked up their own programming from your grandparents' generation. So by the time you land in a home as a baby, you're being bombarded by 2 or 3 generations trances. And by the time you're 7, all of this is hardwired in. Here's the problem. When you go to a motivational talk and then you try to step out of your typical routine programming, the subconscious says, no, I'm not comfortable with this because you might be in danger. Your subconscious mind is not your enemy. Say somebody broke your heart at the age of 7 because dad left mom, and you decided love hurts too much, and that goes into your program when you're 7. You fall in love at 19 and you want to go on the 3rd date, and the subconscious says, I cannot let you because I love you too much. Remember when we got hurt at 7? That's the way it thinks. And if you break up with that boyfriend and cry for 3 days, subconscious doesn't care. Subconscious thinks that it's saved you. It's trying to save you. It's not your enemy. So here's this machine, it's almost non-human. And in order for you to grow, you need to negotiate with it. And there are 4 ways. So I don't want to disappoint you or discourage you, but I know that all of you are interested in spirituality. I know that many of you have read great spiritual books. Many of you have gone to workshops. Many of you have seen motivational talks. Those things will impress your intellectual mind. And you'll be very happy, very uplifted for a while. And then the subconscious will just say, this goes against my programming. That's the way it will happen. Listen to this talk again and learn the language of the subconscious mind. When you learn it, here's what happens. When you reduce the brainwave activity from the busy beta waves to theta, then your subconscious opens up and says, I'm here to listen. And then you drop in visualizations and images. And then you add to the images very powerful emotions. What is it like to hit a great backhand? What does that feel like? What does it feel like to go out with the date that you want to go out with? What does it feel like for you to embrace your puppy because you're thinking of buying a puppy? And by the way, these visualizations have to employ all 5 senses. And then repetition, 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 repetition. That's the only thing that's going to work.